Greetings everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Marcellino Jo, and in this occasion, I will explain what's the economic differences between Indonesia and Malaysia. Even though we are neighboring countries with Malaysia, there are significant economic differences between both countries, and I will divide this presentation into three main parts. The first one is about the foreign exchange reserve of both countries. Second, debt to GDP difference between countries. And the last is about percentage of current account against GDP of both countries. Now, as you can see on my right side, that's the foreign exchange reserves. The vertical lines tells about the foreign exchange reserves in billion or US dollar, and the horizontal lines tells about the dates. Now, as you can see, both countries experienced a drop down in the first month of 2009. But in 2015, Malaysia managed to surpass Indonesian foreign exchange reserve because of some issues that Indonesian had. Next is the debt to GDP diagram. As you can see in the vertical lines, it shows the debt to GDP in percentage, and the horizontal lines show the year and also the percentage of both countries. In the year of 2003, Indonesia have more debt to GDP percentage than Malaysia. But as the year goes by, Indonesia debt to GDP decreased slowly until 2012, which is the lowest Indonesia debt to GDP. On the other hand, Malaysia increased extremely from 2009 to 2014 of their debt to GDP. And by 2015, Malaysia debt to GDP is exactly 2 times the Indonesia debt to GDP. The last graph tells you about current account against GDP. The vertical lines tells the percentage of current account against GDP, and the horizontal line tells about the dates. You definitely can see that Indonesian current account against GDP goes through deficit through 2012 until 2015. It is because Indonesia rely on their domestic consumption rather than exporting. That's why Indonesia don't have a high current account against GDP percentage. And as you can see on the green line, Malaysia have more current account against GDP than Indonesia. Therefore, Indonesia have a higher foreign exchanges reserves in overall than Malaysia. Indonesia also have a lower debt to GDP percentage than Malaysia. But Malaysia have a higher current account against GDP percentage than Indonesia because of several reasons. And that's all about my presentation. Thank you all for your attention.